I'm Sophie from NME, and I'm joined by the wonderful Rachel Chinouriri. Rachel, how are we?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So this is your first Great Escape Festival, right?
It's not actually. I came in 2019, I think, or quite a while back, and I was in the church, but I forgot the name of the church, but it was a church somewhere.
Somewhere.
That's
all around Brighton. It was somewhere.
It was somewhere.
So how's it been coming back 3 years later and coming out of lockdown and performing to huge crowds again at this festival?
It feels great because it's kind of like you miss the human interaction, and now we're getting back into it. It's kind of like giving me flashbacks to the 2019 period because I did like a few festivals then, but I don't know, it just feels even better now. I don't know, it's just I think everyone is more eager to be out now, and everyone is just super happy to see each other because it's been literally like 2 years. So yeah, I'm loving it.
And how's your weekend been overall? Have you been hanging out with any artists, pals, catched up with anyone?
I met Thomas Heeden yesterday.
Fun, yeah.
I just saw Koji Radical. I saw a girl called Bina not too long ago, and yeah, it's just been, I've been on tour, so this is like in the middle of it, so I've just been vocal resting and in my tour bus. But yeah,
how have you found being on tour and just adjusting back to being on the road once again?
I mean, I've only done one date but I've done yesterday and today for Great Escape, and yeah, I mean, my band are really incredible, they're funny, my team are really funny, and it's always just very positive energy in the bus. Well, I say bus, the splitter van. It's great energy, so yeah, I've been loving it.
So you recently teamed up with the Snuts on a new collaboration, End of the Road. How did you guys meet?
So the Snuts, they had an album out I think last year, and I've been listening to their stuff, and we followed each other, and it's just kind of like, oh, you're great, and they were like, you're great too. We were like, okay. And then they sent a song without the second verse, and they were wondering if I wanted to be on it, and I really loved it. And then we went to studio, wrote the verse, and the rest was history. I loved the song before, and how it turned out after was just like incredible. So yeah, I loved it.
And have you got your eyes on maybe collaborating with any other artists in the future?
I feel like my mind changes every day, so I really can't specify. But yesterday I was saying Sampha, and Sampha is wicked, so I'm just going to stick with Sampha for today. But I've probably got 1,000,001 artists I could collaborate with in my brain.
What do you think a song between you two guys would sound like?
Magic.
Absolute magic.
Because Sampha is magic, and I love Sampha.
So you've got a new EP on the way as well.
Next week, Friday, May 20th.
And you've talked about wanting to get back to your indie roots with this project. Why is that so important to you?
I think it's important to define who I am, especially being black in the indie scenes. Anyone who is black and just doesn't do R&B or soul or hip hop always just get thrown into that bracket. It's kind of like the whole urban thing where every black artist who was doing something that wasn't our lanes was just thrown into urban, and it just really pigeonholes you. And as much as I love to be creative and artistic with my sound, I wanted to make something where it's like, this is so distinctively one thing that if you label it anything else, it is purely just racist, and it's the truth. And I wouldn't label myself how I've been labelled, like Lily Allen, but hip hop. Like those two things don't even blend. So it's like, I want it to be so significantly clear that you can't label it wrong. And I think it's important to me because I love indie music. So yeah.
And you spoke out about this on Instagram a few months ago about being unfairly pigeonholed. What was it like to see people respond to that and see those like really moving comments and people sort of rallying behind you?
It felt not scary, but obviously it's like, that's the best case scenario. And I always prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And I think the best to me was just kind of like people being like, oh, this is true. But then it kind of went beyond that. And it's kind of never, the ball started rolling and it's like never stopped. And people still mention it even like now, like to this day. And I feel kind of proud of myself that I mentioned it. I always say I was telling Amber, my manager, and she was like, yeah, post it. And I've never really had anyone who's like, yeah, speak your mind. So yeah, I would say that was, it's been great.
Do you think perhaps it's maybe opened up the conversation for other artists that may have been in a similar situation to yourself to sort of speak up about it, and particularly on platforms like Instagram, like you did?
I have like a lot of friends like Masterpiece, Connie Constance, Hack Baker, Cat Burns, who Lava LaRue and stuff like that, who we all make music that is literally not R&B. And when I made the post, a lot of them had messaged me or spoke up on it. Arlo Parks as well, commented on it, and it's just clear that all of us have had the same experience or the same issue, and the only difference that it is that we're all black, and we have to have this extra hurdle, which is a hurdle we never made, and it's not our duty to get rid of. It's just kind of like, just don't be racist sort of thing. And the artists who hit me up and spoke out more, it's just been so eye-opening to know that other artists think the same thing, because sometimes I was like, am I the only one thinking this? And it was clear that I wasn't. So yeah.
So what does it mean for you to be releasing Better Off Without now, particularly having spoken out and sort of having this new start in the industry?
I feel like the timing this year has been scarily, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Scarily perfectly timed.
Right.
If that makes sense.
That makes complete sense.
Because I made the post, I think, in January, and I was already kind of making this EP, and then, you know, all my numbers went up, and it's just kind of continuously getting better and better. Now the EP's coming out, and now I'm doing the show. I'm just like, all the timing of everything is very scarily going really well, but it shouldn't be scary. And I'm super excited to have a project coming out, and there's a new group of people who are willing to hear me for who I am. So I think me and my team have set myself up really well.
And could this new project perhaps lead to a debut album in the future? Have you started looking at what that could sound like? Is it shaping up a bit?
It's shaping up. I feel like once I let go of this EP, I think my brain will be a lot clearer on what the next thing is, because I kind of need to tie everything in a bow and be like, that is done for me to go to my next stage. And I've been making loads of songs, but there's just so much variety in this like massive Dropbox of so like hundreds of songs, and it's like, where do I want to go first? Because album is it's a big thing, and you want it to represent you the best as a person, but it's like, how do you do that?
What sounds are you exploring with these songs?
Well, it's always, that's why I call myself indie alternative pop, because I would say those are the three things that I like to waver in between, and sometimes electronic elements, but I guess you can say that's like alternative electronic, kind of same worlds. But I would say there's indie, lot more. I think I've been a lot more focused on my songwriting more. I feel like my last project was I tried to work a lot on the instrumentation, and this project I'm trying to focus back in on my writing and the story I want to tell in the song, rather than making like a vibe. So yeah.
And you've got a really exciting summer ahead of you. You're supporting Block Party, and you'll be with Sam Fender at his huge Finsbury Park show.
Yeah, sold out.
I know, it's amazing,
It's
right?
incredible, yeah.
How are you feeling about that? Obviously, there'll be a massive crowd there.
I am very excited. I'm excited to meet Block Party. I know they're incredible. Sam's just a long-time friend, and he's always been super supportive. So it's always fun when you go back with his crew. It's always a lot of fun and happy vibes. So I would say, I just think my summer this year is going to be a good one. I'm very, very excited. I think I'm just excited to get the EP out and go and perform it. And with like Great Escape yesterday, I had a really, really good show, considering, you know, festivals, sometimes people don't know you. So if the people who don't know you are vibing, then, you know, it will be even better.
You've won them over, right?
Yeah, so I'm very excited.
And how did you first get to know Sam? Like you said, you guys go way back.
Yeah, so I want to say 5 years ago.
Right.
His song Dead Boys, whenever Dead Boys first came out is when that happened, and I was trying to look for my own song on BBC Introducing, and I kept skipping accidentally to this one song. I was like, oh, let me just listen to it. It was like 1 a.m. And then it was Dead Boys, and then I think I played the song like 10 times afterwards, and then I DM'd him on Instagram, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? Well, I didn't say that, but I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. And to my surprise, I think he replied very soon after, and I was like, this is like 1 or 2 a.m, what the hell? And then he checked out my stuff, and then I did a cover of Dead Boys, and then he was like, do you want to come and open for me in Teignmouth Castle? And then we met, and we've been buddies ever since.
Amazing.
So yeah.
Would you guys maybe be open to working on a song together in the future?
I mean, I would love to work with Sam. I think he's an incredible writer, and I think he could teach me a lot when it comes to writing. He's very good at writing without rhyming.
Okay,
and I am awful at that. So I would have to collab so he can teach me how to do that. So yeah, I think it would be great to work with him.
And now this new EP will be out next week. Where do you want it to take you? Is there sort of anything on the bucket list? Any big shows that you'd like to play soon?
You see, I haven't made a bucket list yet. I think I should probably make one, because people have asked me this before, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just vibesing. I don't really know, but I hope the universe guides me and the EP guides me to where I need to be, because if I need to learn to manifest more. I hate saying too high of a target and then not reaching it. So I haven't got anything on my bucket list yet, but I'm just going to say I hope the universe leads me to great things.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for speaking to us today, and enjoy the rest of your festival.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.